Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to driving school tutorial. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay. Please let me know if you can hear me in the comment section, please. I will appreciate you for that. If you can just let me know that you can hear me in the comment section, please. I just need to take this thing out. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so good afternoon. Yes, thank you for that confirmation. Thank you, Mr. Solomon. Thank you, Mr. Amaka. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are welcome to driving school tutorial. So today, we're going to answer some past questions. These questions, I took them from past questions that that somebody did, which we are going to look into today. So please, I encourage you to pay attention and also to be curious, to ask questions regarding things you don't know. And also today, we'll also try to see how we can, let me say this period, I'll be trying to work on how we can be able to split questions to our understanding, just like we started the other day in our Zoom classes. So we'll be trying to do that because I have discovered that many of us, sometimes some questions we feel is not for the fact that we don't know what that thing is. Sometimes we find it difficult to be able to split questions to our understanding, understand the key words that would uh, explain everything to us or give us the good understanding of what that question is talking about. So how this will we'll be trying to figure out all those things. And please, I would like you to always follow up, ask questions regarding things you maybe that is not clear to you or that you don't understand, especially words. If I am you, or if I were you, I would pick up my pen and book to write some words. For example, this one equal to this one equal to this. They are not only going to help you in doing your quiz. They are also going to improve your understanding in the Italian language, especially when you are going out to communicate with friends, colleagues, or you're in any of the appointments. These words, they are going to help you. Write them down. You understand? So that is it. Okay, so let me show the first question to us. Yes, everybody has confirmed to me that they can hear me. Okay, that's good. Please do not forget to share this live program with your friends. Invite somebody to join. It is okay. So please invite somebody to join, and it's a good one. By doing so, you are also encouraging me as well. So let us see the first question that we are having here. It said, in segnale raffigurato evidenzia l'inizio dell'area dove è possibile parcheggiare. So what is your response to this question? Vero or falso? Please, I'm reading your comments. Let me know in the comment section if the response to this question is vero, true or false. Please let me know. Okay, so I'm okay now. So it said, il segnale raffigurato evidenzia l'inizio dell'area dove è possibile parcheggiare. So what is your response to this question? True or false? Vero or falso? So please, responding on time will save us a lot of time. So if you can do that, we appreciate, because we don't have much time to wait like that. Okay, so and also as you are responding, please try to be specific. If it's number one, you said number one, vero, and if it's number two, you said number two, as the case may be. Okay, so before we go ahead to answer this question, there is something I would like you to always do, especially those of us that are finding it difficult to understand questions, because these questions are written in Italian language. Not just because these questions are written in Italian language, because sometimes maybe we have this believing that if it was in English language, oh, I'll just go there and finish it. But I can also tell you that if this was in English language, yes, we'll do better, obviously, but some of us will still find it difficult. After all, people in the UK, they also find it difficult. So that is just like that, or people in Germany anyway. So what I would like you to also do is this. It said, il segnale raffigurato evidenzia all'inizio dell'area dove è possibile parcheggiare. Now, you need to first understand what the question is saying. The questioner is telling us that the sign referred to, which is this sign. Now, you do as if the sign is not even existing. You have not seen the sign yet. The sign referred to, okay, is segnale raffigurato. Definitely, if you are somebody who don't understand Italian language very well, you might find it difficult to figure out what this question is. You understand? Evidencia. Now, let's take this word out. Let's assume this one is out. It said l'inizio dell'area dove è possibile parcheggiare, which means, I believe we understand what is inizio. Inizio means beginning. Dell'area. Area means area, place, or places. Dove, we understand what is dove. You know, where. È possibile. Possibile means where it is possible. Parcheggiare. I think all of us must, or maybe, let me say, 80% of us understand what is parcheggiare, which is parcheggio. Now, the question is telling us that the sign referred to, we don't understand the meaning of this. We are doing quiz now, we don't understand the meaning of this. The sign referred to beginning of a area where you can park your vehicle. Now, I don't understand what this thing means. In this case, so many of us, we have children, we have friends, we have people that we can ask. You can ask somebody, what is evidencia? Because the word evidencia here, I think, is taken from the verb evidenciare, which now if you're able to ask your children, because some of our children are grown, they understand this language, but it's just that you can't be asking them the full question because they might not know it. But if you're able to single out the right question and ask, you will see that at the end of the day, you have a guideline. You understand? Now, evidencia means, if you ever relate it to English language, you discover that in English, we have evidence. For example, if somebody tells you that I saw Mr. Frank in the train station taking a train, Okay, the person just say it, you might not believe. But if you really want the person, are you sure? Can you show me a proof or can you give me evidence? You understand? Now the person will show you a picture and said, this was Mr. Frank boarding a train. Now you have not believed because of the evidence that the person showed you. So the word evidence here means evidence. You understand? Which is this shown here, or the sign that is referred to here, give you an evidence of the beginning of area where you can park. And now you might not have seen this sign before, you understand? In that case, you ask, you understand? Or maybe you have seen it before, then you now understand whether the answer is vero or false. So now, let's look at this sign. Remember, this sign is what we are having here. The right part of it is this one. Sorry, the left part, sorry, is the left part. This one. So you see, there are two types. In that question also, while doing your quiz, you might also see this one that is pointing towards your left hand. It is also vero because both of them means beginning or a starting point of area where you can park. It can also be, the sign can be added to different signs. For example, look at it here. This, you see, this is the sign. If it's placed under a parking sign, it means that this is the beginning of area where you can park. It means that I can park here. I can park here. So when I got to this place, maybe they are giving this one. It means that this is the continuation of this sign that was given. Then when it got to this place, it means that I cannot park here and I cannot park here. You understand? You see, it starts from here and it ends from here. And this sign here, this one is the beginning, this is the continuation, and this one is the ending of place where you can park. So at the end of the day, you can see now that the answer is vero to this sign. Now, as I said, you see, the sign they can bring any of these panel and tell you that this sign can be attached to it. True or false? It is true. Remember, the sign can be added to this danger warning sign, prohibition sign, just like that. So it is true that this sign pronounced or gives you an evidence of a place where you can park, and the answer is vero. So for those of us who responded vero, I believe you have understood it now, and you've gotten a clear view of what the sign and the question represent. So we are going to move to the next one. Please, let's remember, our focus today is to get not just to get the question, let's leave that one. Our focus today mainly is to understand something. At the end of this live today, at least you are supposed to be able to understand something. I always told us, knowledge is accumulation of information. You understand? You add to it every day by day. You understand? And that is how a professor becomes a professor. It doesn't just start one day. So let us learn how to, add to what we have, and not to just, take this one and forget the other one, or forget this one and feel maybe we already have the knowledge already. No, let us add to what we have. So number 2, it said, durante la guida si devono usare gli occhiali da vista o le lenti a contatto se nella patente è stato inserito il codice armonizzato 01. True or false? Vero or falso? Question number 2. Always learn how to understand what is the question talking about. Who is the question referring to? You understand? Who is the question referring to? What is the question saying? We are not responding to question number 2. Is it so difficult? Are we finding it challenging to understand? If yes, in order not to waste time, just let me know in the comment section so that I can proceed to explanation. If you don't understand, just be sincere. I don't understand. So I will understand where we are instead of me waiting for a train and the bus stop. Are we here or can we hear me? Let me see. The mic is open. Okay. Okay, so question number 2. It said, durante la guida si devono usare gli occhiali da vista o le lenti a contatto se nella patente è stato inserito il codice armonizzato 01. Now, we are also going to try to dismantle this message or pieces it, or let me say, share it into pieces in order to try to understand what they are saying. Now, if you are doing something like this, always take note of where you have comma, take note of where you have or, take note of where you have and. You understand? And is. You understand? Take note of those places. You try to break it from there. And from there you can get a good understanding. Okay, so it said durante la guida, comma, that is to say during driving. I think that is already taken care of. Si devono usare gli occhiali da vista. That is to say, si devono usare gli occhiali da vista. That is to say, you need to use, or they used to, because they need to use, because it's referring to them. That is why I said devono. You understand? Si devono, that is, they need to use eyeglasses. You understand? Or eye lens, a contact lens. You understand? Se nella patente è stato inserito il codice armonizzato 01. If on the license, se nella patente, if on the license è stato inserito, it is written the code 01, which is, for example, license they carry, sometimes license they carry different code. We get a 96, we get 01, I think just like that. Now, what is 01 code in license? 01 code, for example, in Europe, remember a German police might not be able to read Italian language, or a UK police might not be able to read Italian language. The same with Italian police might not be able to read German language, so forth and so on. You understand? Vice versa. That is why in your license, for example, we all remember before we do exam, we'll be subjected to an eye test, which you're supposed to do in the places like all those Archie and the rest. So this eye test is to check your visual ability, whether you have a long sight problem or a short sight problem, or whether you be needing eyeglasses or whether not. So after you do this, your eye test, the doctor, they are going to leave you with a certificate that you are going to take to motorization or your driving school to register for exam. So inside this certificate, because during the exam, during the tests, the eye test, you see the doctor pointing some numbers, and you will be like this, you understand, looking from somewhere, you understand, and they'll be asking you, what are you seeing? You understand? Sometimes it's a reflector. What number is this? What number is that? You understand? Your ability to be able to read down those numbers will, we tell them whether you'll be needing eyeglasses or not. And this information, they need to bring it to your license if you are that person that will be needing this eyeglass. Therefore, if you are the person that will be needing eyeglass, at the end of the day, they will write 01 in your license, which means anytime you are driving, you are supposed to wear your eyeglass. In that case, if you travel to any other country and the police ask you of your driver's license, and you show your driver's license and 01 is there, not wearing eyeglasses, in that case, you'll be fine. You understand? That is why this code here means that you need to wear your eye lenses during driving. You understand? So the answer to this question is vero, because the question says, durante la guida si devono usare gli occhiali da vista o le lenti a contatto se nella patente è stato inserito il codice armonizzato 01. And the answer is vero. So let's check out question number 3. Please do well to share this video, like it, and share it with your friends. Invite somebody to join. I appreciate you as you do so. So what is our response to this question? Vero or falso? Nel caso in cui la sosta è espressamente vietata da una norma del codice della strada. Sorry, nel caso in cui la sosta è espressamente vietata da una norma del codice stradale, l'osservanza di tale divieto non è condizionata dalla presenza di cartelli segnaletici. Vero o falso? True or false? Nel caso in cui la sosta è espressamente vietata da una norma del codice stradale, l'osservanza di tale divieto non è condizionata dalla presenza di cartelli segnaletici. What is our response? Please, if you don't know the question, just let me know in the comment section, no idea. You can just say no idea. That will help. But on your exam day, don't say no idea to questions you don't know. It's better to just write anything of your choice. You understand? Nel caso in cui la sosta è espressamente vietata da una norma del codice stradale, l'osservanza di tale divieto non è condizionata dalla presenza di cartelli segnaletici. Okay. What is segnaletici? Cartelli segnaletici means road signs. Road signs, like let me quickly show us this one, please. Like this sign, this one here. This is cartello segnaletico. So when they say cartelli segnaletici, they are referring to road signs. Okay, very good. I appreciate that. I don't understand, but FASO. Very good. That is, you are putting in trial, which you are having 50% of getting it right, 50% of getting it wrong. You understand? And this is what you should also do while responding, while doing quiz, at home. Any question you don't understand, any answer that comes from you, put Vero or FASO and mark that question so that at the ending of the quiz, go back, make sure you check that question. Go and check it. Because one mistake that so many of us made is that most times we think if we are doing quiz, we see any question, we just see it as if this question is not important. So we don't know it, we don't even know it, we just leave it like that. On the day of your exam, that will be the first question that will bring that inside. And then you'll be feeling it under air condition. So that is why you must try to know question that that comes your way. Okay. It said nel caso in cui. Please pay attention to this one. Nel caso in cui, and also there are some words here that might make it difficult for you to understand. But please give me your attention, because this question, there are two questions. There are two questions like this. So that is it. Nel caso in cui la sosta è espressamente vietata da una norma del codice stradale, comma. Now, what is this place telling us in the first case? It's saying that in a case or in a situation whereby parking is expressively prohibited by a road code. If I say, for example, every country have their own constitution. You understand? Inside most of this constitution, inside all country, there is no country where you don't have a constitution that is saying that nobody should steal. So let's assume that our constitution says that nobody should steal. Now, one day, you saw something that is not your own, and you stole it. Now, when they now ask you, you say, there is no sign that is telling you that you are not supposed to steal that. You understand? That is what is happening here. The question is saying that in a case whereby parking is expressively prohibited by a road sign, the observance of the same prohibition sign is not conditioned by the presence of that sign, which means, for example, this is a level crossing, passaggio a livello. Now, we all know that here, parking and let me say stopping is prohibited. Remember, when stopping is prohibited, parking is prohibited as well. So you cannot stop here. But it is not a road sign that is saying this. It is the road code, which, for example, by law, you understand, that you cannot stop here, you cannot park here. Now, can you come and park here and say, because then if you park here, I will say, Mr. Frank, why are you parking there? You say, after all, no sign is prohibiting me from parking here now. Does that sound good? So that is what that question is saying. For example, also, look at it here. Can you just look at this road now and bring your car? You said because you want to go and greet somebody and park it here. And, remove your key and walk away. No. Why? Because here, this is the middle of a road, middle of the carriageway, whereby they made us understand that carriageway is a part of the road reserved for the circulation of vehicles. You are not circulating. You want to park. If you want to park, you go to the other side. And it is prohibited to park, in the middle of the carriageway. So you don't expect them to come and bring Divieto the fermata here or sosta for you to know that parking here or stopping here is prohibited. You understand? So in so many cases like that, whereby the road code prohibits parking. For example, this is an intersection. You cannot come and park here and say, after all, no road sign, tell me say make cannot park. No, it is prohibited theoretically. Practically, you are not supposed to park. And practically, you don't expect them to bring a road sign before you know that it is prohibited. And that is what the question is saying. And that is where the answer is vero. He said, let me come again. Nel caso in cui la sosta è espressamente vietata da una norma del codice stradale. That is to say, in a case whereby parking is expressively prohibited by a road code, l'osservanza di tale divieto non è condizionata dalla presenza di cartelli segnaletici. That is to say, the observation of that same prohibition is not conditioned by the presence of the sign, which means you already know that here parking is prohibited. We don't have to bring you a sign to remind you that parking here is prohibited. Do you know that? Okay, yes, I know, sir. Vero. You understand? Now, the other one that you need to pay attention to is going to say it in the other way. And that is question number 4. So I would like you to also pay attention to this question number 4 and tell me in the comment section if it is vero or falso. Look at them carefully. They are almost saying the same thing. Or let me give you the chance to look at number 3 again. You understand? Look at number 3 again. Look at number 3 again before we go back to number 4. Okay, so we have seen it. Now let's look at number 4. Look at it carefully. And please pay attention to these 2 questions. Let me read. It said, nel caso in cui la sosta è espressamente vietata da una norma del codice della strada. We already understand this one, because this one, the right up here and the other one is the same thing, or they are the same thing, because it's saying that in a case whereby a prohibition parking is expressively prohibited by a road code, here is l'osservanza di tale divieto è comunque condizionata dalla presenza di cartelli segnaletici. This might be a little bit confusing, but let me try to break it down. What this one is saying is that the observation of the same prohibition is, however, conditioned by the presence of a sign. In the other hands, this one is telling you that any place where a road code a road code prohibits something, that the presence of that prohibition sign is, always needed. For example, just in the issue of that train track. So the question is telling you that the owner of the road is supposed to put a a prohibition sign in that train track to remind you that this place prohibition is parking is prohibited. Just like a country placing a sign all over each corner saying don't steal, don't steal, don't steal, instead of writing it inside the constitution book. So what is your response to this question number 4? I believe we can hear me, please. Don't keep me quiet, please. Okay, now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this before you respond, even if you are responded before you respond again. Is it true that a country must be placing sign everywhere, don't steal, don't steal, don't steal, to remind you that you are not supposed to steal? Is it true or false? If you can be able to respond to that, you'll be able to respond to this question. Are you supposed to be having signs everywhere? Hey, Mr. Frank, don't steal. Mr. The other one, don't steal, don't do this, don't do the other one. Or it's supposed to be written inside the road code and it's okay. Please, are we together? Because you are not reacting in the comment section. You are not responding. You are not even letting me know if you know it, or maybe there is a word that is confusing. Nothing. Are we together? Are you sure you can hear me, or is it only these few people that I'm seeing here that can hear me? Okay, so however, we must proceed. The thing is that before here, I told us that this question, there are two. If this question are two in the first case, this one cannot be zero, and this one also will be zero in the first case. So I gave us expo, which is supposed to help us. I also make illustration of the nowhere in a country that is written, don't steal, don't steal, don't steal. It doesn't happen. But we all know that stealing is prohibited. You understand? It's a crime. You understand? So the question, what this question is saying is this. In a case whereby parking is expressly prohibited by the road code, the observation of that same prohibition is, however, conditioned by the presence of the sign or the road sign, which means, for example, a place like this, for you not to be able to park here or stop here, the owner of the road must place this sign here. No, it doesn't work like that. The road code already prohibits you from parking here. In that case, you don't need to, the owner of the road don't need to, place a sign, you understand? So the answer is false. Okay, so question number 4. It said, nell'intestazione, which is incrocio a livelli sfassati, non valgono i limiti massimi generali di velocità. What is our response? What's our response, please? You can, this is YouTube live, so you can always go back to go and rewatch whatsoever you don't understand. So that one is not a problem at all. It's just for you to go back later and watch it or check the ones you don't understand. Yes. Is it true that we only have Sister Favor, Mr. Solomon, and the rest in the class? No, that's not true. For so many of us are not responding. So many of us are not responding. Some of us maybe might be claiming too big to respond because maybe, I don't know, for personal reasons. But at the end of the day, one good thing is this: you are the one to write the exam. So that is it. The exam, you are the one to write it. So you will face it by yourself. However, number 5, it said l'intersezione, which is incrocio a livelli sfassati, non valgono i limiti massimi generali di velocità. In the first case, what is nell'intersezione? Here is referring to intersection. What is intersection? In bracket, they gave it to us as incrocio. You understand? Incrocio means a junction where two or more roads intersect each other. It said a livelli sfassati non valgono I limiti massimi generali di velocità, which is incrocio a livello sfassato. Which one is incrocio a livello sfassato? We all remember that we have two types of incrocio, two types of junction. Now we have incrocio or intersezioni a livello sfassato, whereby two or more roads, they intersect each other at different level. Example of it is, bridges, place like this, flyover, underpass and the overpass, and the rest. So then we also have intersezione, which is incrocio a raso, whereby the meeting point of these different roads, they are at the same level, just like the normal for junction we come across every day in the city. So now the question is referring to this one. This is the intersezione a livelli sfassati. Another example of it is this. This, will help you a lot. Now the question is saying that the speed limit, that word there, valgono, where is it? It's nell'intersezione a livelli sfassati, non valgono. Non valgono here, it means that it does not, or it's not valid, because valgono here is taken from the verb valere, the verb valere. Io valgo, tu vali, lui, lei vale, noi valiamo, loro valgono. So voi valete, loro valgono. So this word here, valgono, is taken from that verb valere, which is, let me say, value, for something to have value, or for something to be considered. You understand? So it means that what the question is saying is that in an intersection of different level, the intersectional events facility, for example, bridge and that place I showed us, that the maximum speed limit is not valued or is not important, is not to be observed. You understand? Which means you can drive anyhow, you can exceed the speed limit, which is not true. Because one question you ask, you should ask yourself is, this intersectional events facility, is it part of the road? Yes, they are part of the road. And if they are part of the road, what part of the road can you find them? For example, let's assume that this one is in Strada Estrabana Principale or Autostrada, or I think this is Autostrada because seeing this sign here, you understand? Or Strada Estrabana Secundaria. Now, if it's or maybe centro abitato, for example. If it's centro abitato, remember the general speed limit inside centro abitato, which is inhabited area, is 50 kilometers per hour. If it's Strada Estrabana Secundaria, the general speed limit is 90 kilometers per hour. If it's general Strada Estrabana Principale, the general speed limit is 110 kilometers per hour. If it's autostrada, it's 130. So at the end of the day, if this is autostrada, then you also need to pay attention that the maximum speed here is 130 kilometers per hour. If it's Strada Strabana Principale, the same thing, 110 kilometers per hour. So it is not true that the speed limit does not have value in this, kind of places, overpass and underpass. So the answer is false because it said nell'intersezione a livelli sfarsati non valgono i limiti massimi generali di velocità. And the answer is false because of this word. Now, this quiz, this question here, the 50 bring them again. They will take this one out. In that case, it becomes vero. And that is why I tell us, when you read question with attention, because you will get this question wrong. Not because you don't know this question, but because you don't pay attention while reading the question. Because if this NON is taken away from this question, automatically the question becomes vero. It becomes nell'intersezione a livelli sfarsati valgono i limiti massimi generali di velocità. It becomes vero. So while reading your question during exam, you must pay attention. Sometimes read them and read again. You understand? So the answer here is vero. Let's look at question number 6. It said, il segnale raffigurato indica i limiti di velocità al di sotto del quale è vietato circolare. Vero or falso? True or false? True or false? Question number 6. True or false? Okay, so let's do it like this. In the first case, what is this sign? what is this sign? This sign is signaling de obligo, which is obligation sign. And what is the sign telling us in the first case? Remember, this sign, we also get the red one that looks like it. You understand? But before we go to the red one that looks like it, you know, in our vehicle, we have what is called speedometer. Speedometer corresponds with your action on the accelerator. So when you press the accelerator, as the car is moving, it will be indicating here the velocity that you are driving. Now, this velocity, for example, in the case of this 30 here, the blue one, is telling you that this is the minimum that you can go. What is minimum? The smallest, which means in the presence of this sign, can I drive 29? No. Can I drive 25? No. I'm trying to just be precise because in a real situation, you can drive 29, but I'm just trying to be, to exaggerate it for, a better understanding. So can I drive 20? No. Can I drive 5? No. In the presence of this sign. Can I drive 31? Yes. Can I drive 35? Yes. From this place, let me do it like this. It means that from here on, I can drive. But from here down, I cannot drive. You understand? In the presence of this, it means that I can drive from 30 kilometers per hour and above, which is my speedometer gauge can read 30, can read 40, can read 50, as the case may be, provided that I am respecting the maximum speed limit given in that particular road. For example, if I'm in autostrada, I must not exceed 130. If I'm in Strada Trabana Principale, I must not exceed 110. If I'm in Strada Trabana Secundaria, I must not exceed 90. If I'm in Centro Abitato, I must not exceed 50. So you see it. The sign here, it prohibits us to drive below 30. Where do we have the problem sometimes? Sometimes, so many of us have the problem confusing or mistaking these two signs together. Look at the speedometer gauge of the two. Now, if I name this one image A and name this one image B, it means that in image A, I am driving correctly according to this sign, because this sign is the maximum of 30, which means in the presence of this sign, I cannot exceed 30. If I'm going to draw it the way I drew it before, this is where I cannot drive. And this is where I can drive. So when I get to 30, I'm supposed to stop. I cannot drive above 30 in the image A. But in the image B, I can drive 30 as the case may be, or by respecting the maximum speed limit, and I cannot drive below 30. Please, in the comment section, let me know if you understand this thing, please. Just let me know. I think that one is not also difficult to write. Then if you don't respond now, it shows that maybe so many of you are sleeping. You just log in and go. Are we getting it correctly, or do we understand this one? Okay, so thank you. The explanation is clear. So that question just now is telling us that remember they gave us this sign. It's telling us that the sign referred to is a sign whereby we cannot drive below it, which is true. We cannot drive below this sign. You understand? If it was this sign, that the answer to that question should have been zero, because it is only this one that we cannot drive. It is only this one that we cannot drive above. You understand? If it was this sign, sorry, the answer would have been FASO. I mean, not zero. If it was this sign, the answer would have been FASO, because this sign we cannot drive above it, but we can drive below it. Whereas this one, we cannot drive below it, whereas we can drive above it. So going back to the question, the question says, il segnale raffigurato indica il limite di velocità al di sotto del quale è vietato circolare, which means the sign here, or referring to here, indicates a limit in which we cannot go below it. And it is true. We cannot drive below it. So you're not allowed to drive 25, but you can drive 35, 40, 50, 60, as the case may be. So that is it. Thank you for your response. Let's move to question number 7. Thank you for your response. Number 7, he said, sulle autostrade e strade extraurbane principali è vietato la circolazione di autovetture che non sono in grado di sviluppare per costruzione la velocità in piano di almeno 80 km orario. What is our response? Question number 7, what is our response? Please don't forget to like and share it with your friends. Invite somebody to join. Thank you as you do so. Okay. It said, sulle autostrade e strade extraurbane principali è vietato la circolazione di autovetture che non sono in grado di sviluppare per costruzione la velocità in piano di almeno 80 km orario, which means the in autostrada and strada extraurbana principale that it is prohibited, or rather circulation is prohibited for all those vehicles, all those cars, because it said autovettura, that are unable to develop by construction velocity of about 80 kilometers per hour. Now, you know that by construction, there are some vehicles that cannot drive up to 80 kilometers per hour. Please, can you help me with anyone in the comment section? Anyone you know about, any vehicle that you know that by construction, this vehicle cannot drive 80 kilometers per hour? In the comment section. Just one. I didn't say three, but I know it's more than that. Just one. In the comment section. One vehicle that you know that cannot drive 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, very good. Ciclomotori is one vehicle that cannot drive up to 80 kilometers per hour. Now, remember, apart from the ciclomotori, we have different vehicles that cannot drive 80 kilometers per hour by construction. We have ciclomotori, as we said, we have a macchina operatrice, we have macchine agricole, we have what's it called, quadrocicli, we have this monopattino, we have veicoli a trazione animale. So all these vehicles, they cannot, develop 80 kilometers per hour by construction because they are, the way they constructed them, they are not constructed to run that velocity. You understand? So that, therefore, the answer is zero. Sulle autostrada, sorry, remember that in autostrada, any vehicle that is unable to, to drive from 80 kilometers and above, that vehicle is not allowed to drive in autostrada and also strada extraurbana principale. You understand? So that is why the answer is zero, because it's sulle autostrada e strada extraurbana principale è vietato la circolazione di autovetture che non sono in grado di sviluppare per costruzione la velocità in pieno di almeno 80 km orario. And the answer is zero. Okay. Number 8, he said, la distanza di sicurezza deve essere sempre uguale allo spazio di frenatura del veicolo. La distanza di sicurezza deve essere sempre uguale allo spazio di frenatura del veicolo. La distanza di sicurezza deve essere sempre uguale allo spazio di frenatura del veicolo. La distanza di sicurezza deve essere sempre uguale allo spazio di frenatura del veicolo. Okay, so in the first case, what is distanza di sicurezza? Or what is, rather, what is the question telling us? The question said, la distanza di sicurezza. We, or let me say, almost all of us understand what is distanza di sicurezza. Distanza di sicurezza is the safety position, or the distance, safety distance, sorry, that you maintain from the vehicle that you are following. And this distance enables you to stop, whenever you need to stop. Now, the question is saying that it is always the same thing with the space that you need to brake your vehicle now, or to stop your vehicle. Remember, I always told us, if you find this kind of exam, this kind of question in your exam or anywhere, maybe another question, or and you are having this word here, sempre. You are having tutti i casi, ogni caso, solamente, or solo. Now, it is not true that they are 100% falso. But when you find yourself in a situation of, oh, I don't know what to do, and I don't know this type of question to be, I don't know this type of question to be whether vero or falso, then what are you supposed to do? Choose falso. Whenever you see a word like this, sempre, ogni caso, tutti i casi, solo, choose falso. That does not mean that the answer is 100% correct, but you stand 60 to 70% or 80% of getting that question correct, because in this quiz, 60 to 70% of questions carrying this word, sempre, ogni caso, tutti i casi, solo, they mainly come out to be falso. Remember, it is not all of them. You can still put falso and still get it wrong. You understand? But you stand the chance of getting it right. Now, what is this question telling us? It says that the safety distance that you need to, the safety distance need to always be equal to the braking space. Now, what is safety distance? We already see it's a distance that you need to keep from vehicle that you are following. Now, what is braking space? Rather, spazio di frenatura that they wrote here. Remember, when we did our distanza di sicurezza, we said that the driver of this vehicle here is driving, and at the end of the day, he saw an obstacle, a danger. Maybe as a pedestrian was crossing the road, and this vehicle decided to stop to let the pedestrian cross. Then he sighted that danger. Remember, when he sighted that danger, he was still driving. And don't forget that they told us that if you are driving 50 kilometers per hour, in 1 second, you cover about 50 meters or 40 meters. Now, this vehicle driver was still moving when he sighted this danger here. Let me say, it took this driver 1 second to start applying brake. So when he started applying brake, he had already covered a certain distance, known as spazio di reazione. Then when he started to apply the brake, and at the end of the day, getting to this spot here, he was able to stop his car. Then the distance that he covered from where he started to apply the brake to stop, that is known as spazio di frenatura, which is braking. But remember that before this driver was able to stop this vehicle, what he did was to react, then start to apply the brake before he stopped the vehicle. In that case, the total space that takes the driver to stop the vehicle is known as spazio di reazione plus spazio di frenatura, which is the total of this place. The space that he needed to observe whether this thing is a danger or not, and the one that he needed to apply the brake. Now, the question is telling us that the safety distance that you need to always be this space. If you always keep this space, what happens if you want to react? At the end of the day, you see, boom, it will happen, in the other way, because your vehicle is going to stop in a place like this, you understand? So that is why it is not true that safety distance need to always be equal to the distance that you need to stop your vehicle. Rather, safety distance need to always be equal to spazio totale di arresto. Spazio totale di arresto is different from spazio di frenatura. Spazio totale di arresto is the, here I wrote 1 plus 2. The 1 is spazio di reazione, which is the reaction space plus the braking space. And that is what gives you the spazio di arresto, which is the same thing as the distanza di sicurezza, which is the distance that you need to keep from vehicle that you are following. So the question here is not true. The answer is falso, that la distanza di sicurezza deve essere sempre uguale allo spazio di frenatura del veicolo. No, it is not correct. The answer is falso. Question number 9. It said, le grandi differenze di prestazioni e di massa fra le autovetture facilitano una buona sicurezza stradale. What is our response to this question number 9? Question number 9. Le grandi differenze di prestazioni e di massa fra le autovetture facilitano una buona sicurezza. Ok. Che number 9. It said le grandi differenze di prestazioni. Now, we're going to stop there because we need to learn how to break them down. We have A, which is and here. If it was comma, we'll do the same. If it's A, which is and, or O, which is, O, which is or, yes, or full stop. We'll stop there to check the first meaning. It said le grande differenza di prestazioni. What is it? What are they? The question referring to by grande di prestazioni. Now let's assume I don't know. Let's continue. It said di massa fra le autovetture, fra le autovetture. Massa. I understand massa to be, massa to be mass, which is the weight of the vehicle. You understand? Then he said, facilitano una buona sicurezza stradale. That is to say, that is to say, for example, now, the question is telling us that, you know that the difference between this vehicle is a new vehicle and this one is a new vehicle. But there are differences between them. One, the engine power, the 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 horsepower of the engine capacity of the vehicle, everything about the vehicle is different from this one. But there are two of them are cars, you know. But at the end of the day, you will agree with me that when you press the pedal of this vehicle here, it is not the same distance that this vehicle is going to cover, that this one is going to cover when you press the pedal of this vehicle. Maybe with the same strength. This one is definitely going to vroom, you understand? And that makes this one, the velocity more, or this one respond more faster. You understand? In velocity. And remember that velocity is one of the most dangerous things on the road. So does that ensure safety? No. You understand? So this is just a common way to explain it to us, that it is not true that as they said it here, la prestazione, right? That le grande differenza di prestazione, that is the big differences between vehicles, the capacity, the engine power, both the weight, make it more easier for road safety. No, it is not true. Because, as I said, if you press this, the accelerator of this vehicle, the way you press this one, if anything happens, as in, it's going to be, as in, you ask yourself, how comes? Yes, because this one, the engine is bigger, the speed is there, even though at the end of the day, they are both to maintain the same speed limit. But there are a lot of differences in the engine and everything. So it is not true that the differences are in vehicle, for example, the engine, the horsepower, the weight, make it easier for road safety. No, that is not true. Then question number 10. This question number 10 happens to be our last question for today. No, but before we go to question number 10, please, let me quickly respond to this question. It said, if road is okay and car is not okay, that question is coming under distanza di sicurezza here. Remember, they told us that when you understand the condition of your vehicle, you need to increase your safety distance. If you know that your vehicle is a break and quench vehicle, or that you need to, press the pedal, boom, 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 in order to keep the vehicle, steaming, you must make sure you increase your safety distance. For example, even maybe your mechanic told you that the brake pad of this vehicle, you need to change it, and maybe you are finding it difficult to take appointment. So, and you need to go to work. You still keep on using that vehicle. What you need to do is to make sure, as you are driving, put it into your head that this car that I'm driving, the brake need to be changed. What do I need to do to increase my safety distance? Always drive with conscience. It is true that you always need to increase a safety distance, but you understand that it is better to have something more than to stay too close. Because if you stay too close, where new vehicles will be able to apply their brake and keep the brake pad and everything functioning right, even both the tires and the rest, yours will be struggling. You understand? So that is why you always need to keep a longer distance in a situation whereby your vehicle is faulty. So I believe I've responded to your question, but in case otherwise, you can still let me know in the comment section. So we are referring to question number 10. It said, su tutte le strade è vietato esercitarsi alla guida. Su tutte le strade è vietato esercitarsi alla guida. su tutte le strade è vietato esercitarsi alla guida. Okay, so question number 10 is telling you that on the road, it is prohibited to carry out in all the roads, it is prohibited to carry out driving exercise. It is not true because remember, you can do your driving practice as long as you place this, because if you register your practical, you take your practical to a driving school. Once you start doing driving school, they are supposed to leave you with something like this, a bigger one and a smaller one. The bigger one will be at the back, while the smaller one will be at the front. With this, you can, you can do driving exercise as long as you're having somebody by your side that is having a license more than 10 years and that is not more than, I think 70 years of age, something like that. Then also, the reason why you don't see this thing in a driving school or on those driving schools vehicle is because as long as they have this one, it is clear that that vehicle is doing driving exercise. So it is not true that in order to that all the roads in all the road that it is prohibited to carry out driving exercise. So guys, this is where we are going to leave each other for today. I want to say thank you for your time. I don't know if there's any question, but I was trying to read through and can't find any question. And most of the questions that was asked, I think I answered them alongside the explanation. So guys, if you want to reach out to me to join our Zoom classes, yes, you can reach out to me through this number that is shown here on the screen. Look at it here, 388-643-1524. So you can join us in our Zoom classes. You have 2 days of free classes where we explain explain things in detail. So guys, as I said, I'm not having any question here, but don't forget that you can always ask question. You can leave your question in the comment section. I will see, read your question. If there's any way I can still respond to it, I will do that as soon as possible. So guys, I appreciate you for your time. Thank you for being here, and always remember to do your quiz as you prepare to write your exam. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.